I often get asked lots of questions about extra release, and there's quite a few myths around there, especially when people think about what it used to be like 20 years ago. So what I'd like to is just really go through some of the main ones that people come across. Big one is, I won't be able to move home. Absolutely wrong. All our mortgages we do are all portable. So if you do want to move home, we literally pick the mortgage up, put it on the new property, not a problem, no penalty. Provided it meets lender's criteria, as it would be in a standard mortgage, we can move it with you. You could end up owing more than the house is actually worth. All our mortgages have a no negative equity guarantee attached to them. So no matter how long you have a mortgage, if the interest rolls up and increases over a number of years, to the point where it's actually you owe more than the property's worth, then that mortgage has to be repaid, which is done on death or going into long-term care. The lender only gets back the amount of money that actually that property is worth. Doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank, they can't touch any of that. It's purely based around the property itself. People think that you'll have to make monthly payments. No, that is one of the big things about extra release mortgages. You never have to make a payment. We always encourage you to make payments, so it stops the loan itself increasing over the term, but there is no requirement to do so. So importantly, your home is never at risk because you don't have to make a contractual payment. Your partner may have to move out of the property if so happens to you. Absolutely not. All our mortgages, again, are only repayable on the death or going into long-term care of the second person. So irrespective of what happens to the first person, doesn't matter with the mortgage, it will continue. This is an important fact as well with that one. If you're currently in a property where you're living with your partner and only one of you is on the mortgage, as a duty of care to you, we will put the other person onto that property and onto that mortgage to safeguard them. Another myth that we get is that you no longer own your home. Absolutely wrong. You will always own your property. There are some deals out there where you in effect sell your property, either part or in whole, for a discounted amount, and then you live in the property for the rest of your life, free of charges. But then there's nothing left for your family. As a totally different. What we do is purely a mortgage. It just goes on forever. So you always own your own home. Extra lease is expensive. It would always be slightly higher than a standard mortgage because the actual rates we have are fixed for the whole lifetime. So whereas a normal mortgage, you'll have it fixed for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Our mortgages are fixed forever. So if it could be for the next 25 years, 35 years, 45 years, it will not change. So invariably, especially at the moment, we're seeing that our rates are probably around about 1% higher than a 5-year fixed rate that you would get on the open market. Another myth we hear quite a lot, and it's a big worry for most people, is that the children will be left with absolutely nothing. Well, because these are a mortgage, so as an example, if you borrow, say, £100,000, your property's worth £500,000, and after a year, with, say, an interest rate of, say, 6%, at the end of the first year, you owe £106,000. If you died at that point, and it gets the £106,000 back, the £394,000 goes to your family beneficiaries, whatever you want it to go to. Over a period of time, because the interest accumulates and compounds as it goes along, yes, there will be less equity to go to your family, but at the same point, whatever equity is left in that property will go to your beneficiaries because, again, as I said earlier, you always own your home. People think about having to draw out an awful lot of money, and is this the right time to actually draw out money? People don't always have a need to draw all the money at once. There may be cases where they have plans now, but there may be needs in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Well, we can arrange that. We can set up what's called a drawdown facility, just like a big overdraft. So basically you draw down what you need now, and we say, right, yes, in a year's time or 2 years' time, I need another 10,000, I need another 20,000. We set that up and then you draw the money down as you need it. But the important thing with that is you only pay interest on the money as you borrow it. The facility doesn't cost. It's only when you physically draw down the funds, that's when you pay interest. I'm doing that at the moment for a lady who's needing care at home. She has carers coming in every single day, several times a day. Her income doesn't cover that fully. So we've set up the plan that for the next 10 to 15 years, we have sufficient funds there that she can draw to cover that care. So she gets the care that she wants without having to worry about how she's going to pay for it.